Good morning.
I just woke up.
Good afternoon and good evening. Doesn't matter what time it is. It's always a good time for a cat nap.
Oh, I just took one.
It was lovely, right?
Yeah, I spent some time out in the countryside doing some errands. Came back and laid down on the bed. And when I woke up, I had a cat on my chest.
It was super
It
sweet.
was super sweet.
Yeah.
Our kitten is now.
She's over
technically
6 months, so
She's a cat.
she's a cat, and she's very, very sweet. So she likes to take cat naps. She took a cat nap in the same place with me a little earlier while
Yeah,
you were
came,
out.
She came over and put her nose up against my nose to wake me up a little. And she climbed the board and,
Heaven.
I've become a cat person.
You know what's fun is
No.
before I had my little break today, which in yours was even less than 10 minutes.
Yeah,
actually.
it was.
Mine was similar. Is that my day was running forward with momentum. And sometimes when that happens, whilst it's lovely, I reach a place of, I'm not sure if it's quite confusion, but it's as if whatever I'm doing has diminishing returns, as
How
in
about no?
it takes longer.
How about you reach a place of no, I can't do this now.
This is it. I'm done. And it was interesting how within 10 minutes,
You got rejuvenated?
I had a reset. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
definitely rejuvenated.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking I'm rejuvenated. I'm not sure yet. We'll see.
We'll find out.
We'll
But
find out.
in case you haven't noticed, Shya and I finish each other's sentences, and we're not going anywhere.
I was thinking on my drive home
Mhm.
that from town, because I went for an eye exam, that I am married to an enlightened master. You.
Oh.
Yeah. That I take credit for it a bit, but you're it. That you create an environment where I am okay being me. So you're not picking on me for my working, not working, going fishing, not going fishing. There's no, I'm doing it wrong. So it gives me the space to express myself and be as excellent as I can be without trying to be excellent. It's like I'm not going anywhere. My way of being is just see what's next and do it.
As Shya was speaking, I had a number of thoughts come by, and it was really important that I let them go because otherwise I'm not going to listen to him. And some of you may barricade yourself, you're afraid of criticisms, but others of you, I have a feeling, go away when anything is perceived as complimentary to you. So there is an engagement in what he had to say, in listening to Shya from his perspective, rather than agreeing, disagreeing, knowing it, not knowing it. I did have a thought that just came back now, though, Shya. When you talk about how I don't pick on you for how you're being, for you're taking a break, not taking a break, working, not working, that really stems from how I relate to myself. And that for all of us, if we are picking on ourselves, if we're hard on ourselves when we want to take a break, we will be hard on the people around us as well. I think it was last week's show.
See, I was hoping you'd say something like, well, you don't pick on me because I don't pick on you.
Well, that's true too. It is a feedback loop.
It is a feedback
It's like
loop.
I see it like an infinity sign.
Yeah, it really is. When you pick on yourself, you pick on the people around you. You pick on the people around you, they pick on you.
I think it was Marin in last week's show. I think it was last week's show. She was talking about how she loves to be in the global video seminars or come and be part of the Being Here podcast because she is very strict or harsh or hard on herself. And it just relaxes. And I see that when you are relaxed with yourself, the people around you have the opportunity to relax.
When you relax for yourself, you can do no wrong and they can do no wrong. It's you take the rule boundness off when you relax and leave it alone. When you disengage from the agendas that you've knowingly or unknowingly set out for yourself that are driving you, rather than letting you just be and see what's needed and wanted and producing it.
Yeah, I see I have a new, improved, transformational hidden agenda.
And what might that be, my dear?
Well, we were conversing just a moment ago, and I said that I hit a place of being, I don't recall right now how I quantified
Less
it.
effective.
Less effective. It was diminishing returns. And you said you hit a place of no. To my mind, yes, in the mind and change. Yes is good, no is bad. And particularly because we used to do Monday nights called Say Yes to Your Life. So yes is good, no is bad. And it took a while for me to recognize, oh, no, I shouldn't be doing this anymore. It's time to take a break. And that's not a bad thing. And it's not about judging
Being
myself.
a yes to your no is a good thing.
It really is. It really is.
Let's take our first guest.
Let's do that. I believe we have Natasha with us. Oh, here she comes. Hi, Natasha.
Hi, Natasha.
Where are you?
I'm in London, in the UK.
It's so lovely to see you.
Yes. It's been so long.
It has been. It's great to see you and hear you both as well.
Well, we appreciate you taking a break with us before you head off to work at the hospital.
Thank you. Well, I'm glad we're able to try and make this work with the rota.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
You're welcome. What can we do for you, Lovey?
What can we do for you?
So I just thought that this week's topic was so interesting because to get to where I've had to get to, which is quite high up in my career, it's been very goal driven.
Yes.
I was one of the youngest consultants in the country. I then became a clinical director, and
you're a medical doctor, though.
I'm a medical doctor.
Yes.
Yes. So when you say clinical director, that's of a hospital or series of hospitals or doctors or.
So it was actually for the whole of south of London for diabetes.
Uh-huh.
So I was head of diabetes for South London.
Okay.
And all the projects and everything that we were doing in that area. It's this idea of taking the cat nap and being able to just take a breather and stop. And I guess why it comes up a lot lately for me is also because of the competition, the environment that I'm in. There's a lot of, somebody's achieved X, Y, and Z, and what have I achieved? And that's what the department is built on, is everybody has to be an achiever to be in that environment.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually just being able to stop and enjoy where I am. I actually find that really challenging, I have to say.
Well, my dear, I can enjoy achieving as much as I enjoy napping. It's possible to enjoy what you're doing. Yesterday, I went out on the river for a little while. And I enjoy casting a fly rod. And sometimes I make a beautiful cast, and other times it doesn't work out like I would prefer. But if I'm gentle with myself when it doesn't work out the way I'd prefer, I end up making a lot more beautiful casts.
I also have a feeling, Natasha, you're missing in your mental structure a hidden skill set, maybe hidden from you, probably not from anybody else who's been around you. I doubt that the people who have risen in the ranks in the medical system in London where you work got there without also not just being competitive, but their ability to be a healer. And so, as you say that, I recall one time when we were still, we were not virtual. We came and did a course in Cambridge. You came and did a course with Cambridge, and you had a number of diabetes clients who are patients who had a lot of serious issues, like would they lose a limb, things that you were dealing with, and you took a break. And when you went back, they spontaneously had healing, remission, well-being. There was something about being around you that had an impact.
When you're well in yourself.
And I recall that it was just so notable. We were like, I can't believe what's happened. I gave myself a break and look what happened. So somehow in that desire to get ahead, which is very compelling when you're around that environment, you miss that almost intangible, which is your presence.
And when you're lost in the conversations in your head, there is no presence. It's like a light switch, not with a rheostat, not with a dimmer, but that's either on or off. You can be present, or you can be thinking about future events. Now, interestingly enough, when you're present, you can include future events. But when you're in the thought process of worrying about how the future is going to turn out, then your ability to be there is radically diminished. Your ability to smell and taste the air that you breathe, your ability to feel what's happening in another person.
Or when you touch your son's head as you're walking by, to actually feel his hair. You know, our kitten has this habit. She likes to wait until after we turn the lights out a little bit, and she comes and she'll nibble my nose, or she'll run her paws through my hair, or churr. She doesn't really meow. She kind of she wants me to get up and feed her and close her in this smaller room for the night. She really likes it in there in the evening. And I've found that if I've been asleep for a little bit, her fur is softer. It's as if my ability to touch and feel spreads out. She has the most glorious fur, particularly because when I do that, I allow myself to have it as one of my favorite times of day, rather than, oh God, she woke me up again.
Well, you know, you're there.
Yes.
See, if you're there in your fingertips.
That's right.
And if you're in your complaints about the way it's showing up, when life isn't showing up, meeting your preferences, well, then you're insensitive to just about anything going on around you.
I know that people who are hearing this can't see your face. We're doing it via Zoom, and we can see you. And it's just lovely to see you drop into yourself in a way where you look content.
Yummy.
Thank you. I think I've said this before, and I'll say it again for other people to hear, that I have the life I have because of both of you, and the workshops and these calls. You know, with everything that's gone on lately, it could be a really challenging time, but it's really unusual in some way, if I let myself think about it, how I'm also having the best time of my life at the moment.
That's great.
You know, as well. Really loving having Sandeepa, my husband Sandeepa is currently working from home. That's great. You know, because I get to see him, and getting to see the little one as well has been great. And I love reading about the Kitten Chronicles. I have so loved reading about the Kitten Chronicles. I guess that's a little bit of my downtime too. If there's anything that makes me grin during the day, if it's if it's been one of those days, just to read the Kitten Chronicles makes me smile.
Oh, thank you. We do them our best to make them short and sweet and not trying to produce anything, just a little snippet of self-expression.
Thank you.
You know, I just wanted to say one other thing before we let you go, Natasha. And that is that I have recognized that in the past, there have been times, I don't know if that's the case now, where you would give yourself license to take a break once you got sick. And it would be really nice if you start recognizing that whether it's from where you work, from your past conditioning, where when your body gives out, then it's okay. And that you rejuvenate. But what happens if you have the rejuvenation before you are so depleted? So rejuvenation is like this gift rather than a gasp of breath.
So, see, that's the thing that I do find really challenging to stop. I've accumulated nearly 60 days of annual leave exactly because of that.
That's a lot of annual leave.
It
Take off
sure
for a
is,
year.
But I checked and I realized that this had happened because once COVID hit, then it was I cancelled everything and I just went full blown into work spiel. And the one thing that my husband and I have a debate on is exactly this, Ariel and Shya, is for me to just stop, take some time off, or even have a couple of days. But even when I do that, it's trying to make it for me. I will get carried away with doing something else with somebody else, like my dad, or running around somebody else.
You know, if you give yourself a break, when you come back, it's going to be perfect anyway. See, I like going to the stream almost every day, to this little river near our house, because I learn where the fish are in the river, because I can find them. And whenever I take a break, I'm afraid I won't be able to find them again. But interestingly enough, they always show up when I get there. So it's not like I need to know where they are. I have a sense where I find myself in the right place all the time. And you find yourself in the right place all the time too, except you doubt it.
Yeah.
And so when you're working, even though you're fully engaged in that work, there's a part of you that's doubting that you're getting it right. You need to trust yourself like you've never trusted yourself before, like your life is showing up exactly perfectly in this moment and you can't do it wrong. And then you'll just start to see the miracles show up again, because they do when you're fully engaged, not second guessing yourself. See, you think second guessing yourself is part of being a good doctor, but
Yes.
maybe it's not.
Okay.
Maybe your first initial intuitive hit is so spot on, and then you question that.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
I have an idea for you.
Okay.
Just gonna put it out there and then we'll let you go. What if taking a break, like an unstructured day, is your new tool to be a better competitor?
I'm going to make that into a game now. I'll turn that into a game and let's see what happens.
Yeah, and maybe you're not taking enough days right now. So what you're doing is feeling like you need to do something for your dad, or you need to run around, you need to handle some of those things. But if you get going on allowing yourself to take breaks, it'll be easier for you to not be structured and take a look around and see what you want to do.
Well, most of us push ourselves to exhaustion.
Yeah.
And
now
like
you got a
Ariel
good
was
reason,
saying,
COVID. Yeah.
right. Well, like Ariel was saying earlier, that she realizes she's getting less and less effective.
Mm-hmm.
And as you fatigue, you get less effective. And
I was shocked how much crisper I was in less than 10 minutes.
yeah.
And how my body, that tension just let go. It was done. It was like I didn't need something to help me. It was over. It was very lovely.
I thought of getting coffee while I was out there, but I didn't.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you, Ariel and Shya.
You're welcome.
Lovely being with you.
Thank you, Natasha. Have a great day.
It's that time.
The time for what?
Our listener feedback spotlight.
What is that?
Well, I'm so proud of the people who listen to this show. And now we get to hear from one or more of them about what's happening in their lives with transformation by listening to this podcast and
what they've discovered about life, what they've discovered about their lives, that they are experiencing fun in their lives.
And that they want to share it with you.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Naz from the UK, and I'm so grateful to have transformation in my life. Before transformation, I thought I knew it all. And to discover this world of possibility outside of my imagination has really shifted my reality. And my life is magical, outside of anything I could possibly imagine.
Hi, this is Judy in New York City. I love attending the Canes video workshops and listening to their podcasts. It's a wonderful way to relax into the moment during a challenging time or even a time when everything's going well.
If you would like to experience an expanded sense of well-being, join us. Connect with people all over the world from the comfort of your own home at Ariel and Shya's lively interactive global video seminars. Participate in any of their 2-hour online events or take a deep dive into the magic of being you at a virtual weekend seminar. Come on, let's connect. Find out more and register at transformationmadeeasy.com.
We are offering a couple of upcoming seminars, a weekend one.
They're virtual via Zoom.
Yay. Discover the Healer in You, November 21st and 22nd.
And Speak Up with Ariel and Susan Finch.
She's an amazing vocal and speech coach, has been doing it for more than 30 years. She graduated from Juilliard. She's a very, very, very talented lady, super fun.
And she teaches at Juilliard too.
So if you would like to join Shya and I and many amazing people in the community for Discover the Healer in You.
The other thing is this, you know, with the resurgence of COVID all over the world right now, it seems to be expanding exponentially in many places. One could get lost in their negative thoughts. And these courses will help you discover that you don't have to get lost in your negative thoughts.
We also have shorter seminars Mondays, most Saturdays, and one Tuesday every month. You can find out more at transformationmadeeasy.com. All right, shall we take our next
Yes,
caller?
let's.
We have Kirsten with us.
Hi, this is Kirsten in Virginia.
Hi, Kirsten.
Hey, how are you?
We are awesome. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Great.
What can we do for you today?
Well, I liked this topic because I've been realizing lately that a little bit of, like, similar to your conversation with Natasha, I feel a big no or a guilt trip on myself when I do try to rest. So I've been trying to be aware of that and do that, take that rest before it gets to the point where I'm sick or
Mm.
Well,
ineffective.
it's here's the thing, Kirsten. If you pick on yourself
Mhm.
and think about what you're not doing whilst taking a break, you're not really taking a break.
That's true.
And so trying to figure out what to do when you get off your break is not a break. A break is
No.
when you disengage from all that mental chatter that usually occupies you. I once was leading parts of a workshop about 40 years ago up in the Sierra Nevada mountains at a place called Kirkwood Meadows. It was a ski resort in winter, but I was there in the summer, and we used it as a course site where we ran courses. And we had a run every morning. This is about 8,000 feet high in the mountains. So the air was thin in the morning.
Mhm.
And it was thin all the time.
But thinner.
And it was a 1 mile run. And the rules of the run were you were running or you stopped. There was no walking. And that's a lot like taking a break, but thinking about what you have to do when your break is over. That's the walking.
Mhm.
You don't allow yourself to regenerate energy and discover what else is possible when you think you're taking a break, but you're really working on what you want to get accomplished.
That makes sense.
The other thing is, you might find that everything you try to accomplish gets accomplished.
Yeah.
And you worry about it, and somehow you've included worrying about it as a vital part of the accomplishment process, rather than you are an accomplished being
Mhm.
and you accomplish things.
Yeah, I do. I think that's true. I tend to, I feel like unless I worry about something, it's not going to happen properly.
Yes, or it's not responsible. You're not being responsible,
Mhm.
as if the worry is responsible, rather than just producing the result is really quite responsible in itself.
Yes, that's true.
I found something really wonderful at the last virtual weekend seminar we did. The theme was fun as the access way to enlightenment. The theme is not as important as what I noticed, because I noticed it after the improv, creativity, and intuition, the different things that we offer. I fully engaged in being there with the people who came to be with us for the weekend. And in the course of this particular last weekend, we had the the Friday course as well, Freedom to Breathe. So it was 3 full days of really being with people. And I had at least some expectation that on Monday I would be rather tired. We'd done other things as well over the weekend in the time that we were not leading the seminar. And I was really surprised how full engagement over that weekend had produced in me the ability to do things, do them quickly, without thinking about it, without worrying about what I wasn't getting done. And then I hit that place that I was describing earlier. It was like a full stop. And I was sitting at the computer and I said, oh, okay, done. It just appeared obvious, fully engaged, that I should fully engage in something else, whether it was watching TV, reading book, laying down and taking a nap,
I was
playing with the
hoping you would
cat.
say do a little cooking.
No, I had pre-done food on that day. You're getting
Okay.
hungry now though, because we haven't
Yeah.
had lunch, I can tell.
That's right.
But it's ready, so it's all good. So I think sometimes too is you think you have to have half of your head over in some other department working on the thing that you're not currently doing. And that makes you really tired.
It does, yeah.
And it also comes from, Shai was talking about it around this with you earlier. When you trust yourself, then you don't have to always be worrying about what your child is doing, worrying about whether or not you'll get your work done when you get to work, worrying about the things that aren't right in front of you.
Mhm.
And that worry quotient is not productive, but since you've done it all your life, you think it's integral.
Yeah. That's interesting about the trust, because I have noticed lately, yeah, I feel like I don't trust myself to do a good job at things, but it's crazy because I always do a pretty good job. I mean, when I do engage, I can do a good job. And so I'm not sure where that's coming from, but it's an interesting thing to notice.
Well, it's interesting as you're talking about it because we know your cousin, and suddenly you had some of her mannerisms. So I have
And
a
some of
feeling
her vocal
and
tones.
patterning when she's talking about similar subjects. So I wouldn't be
Right.
surprised if
You have a familial download
Mhm.
that includes self-deprecation.
Mhm.
You know, that and that, see, here's the thing. What we don't normally take into account is that we are raised in a climate and a cultural climate, and that soup that we're raised in sticks to us and
Mhm.
influences the way we see life. And we can't see life outside of that until we do. And when you realize that this idea that you need to worry is something that you learned growing up, well, maybe you can let it go.
Mhm.
The other thing is, I think about the second principle of instantaneous transformation, which says no two things can occupy the same Kirsten at the same time. And you can't be any different than you are in the current moment of your life. So if you allow yourself to be okay being you the way you are, you will be highly efficient.
Mhm.
that includes, when you were saying you bring awareness to things, it may be true, but I also feel like your awareness may have like you have books that are hardback books and they have dust covers.
Yeah.
Your hardback awareness book may have a dust cover of change. Like, I'm going to become aware of this so I can be a better me.
Yeah.
And, you know, and it's really fun if you see, look at all you've accomplished, including being on a self-improvement treadmill. Good for you. But there's also now another possibility where you can take a deep breath and just allow yourself to be you and enjoy being you. And
Mhm.
also tell the truth. When you said, I'm pretty good, I've been pretty good, you're more than pretty good. It's just not cool to
See, and
say
you're
how good you're.
Awesome.
right. And your cultural download, pridefulness is not a good thing.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting you be prideful, but I am suggesting that you acknowledge how good you really are at so many things.
Okay. Thank
Just
you.
like your cousin.
I know, she's amazing.
Yes, she is, but so are you.
Thank you.
And she doesn't think she's so amazing, just the way you don't think you're so amazing.
Mhm.
So it points more back to that familial download of self-deprecation.
Mhm.
Which is amazing. Because you're you including that. This is not get rid of the self-deprecation. It's recognize. You recognize it, you're going to be able to see it in other people as well and be supportive of them even when they have lost their sense of themselves. Because if you're not judging you for that voice that talks down about you, and you don't judge that voice, you just recognize it came along with the Kirsten package, then when somebody's being hard on themselves and thinks it's real, just you walk into the room and something in them is going to go,
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Yeah, Kirsten, it's about allowing yourself to be okay the way you are. In other words, be kind to yourself.
Okay. I will be kind to myself.
Well, that's not quite a directive. It's a good
No.
idea, though.
No,
you know, and part of being kind to yourself is noticing when you're not without being hard on yourself.
Right. You know,
Mhm.
the other day, as I pulled my truck into our garage, the tailgate of the truck was still up and it hit the garage door. No damage done. But I could not believe the expletives that I used to describe myself.
And it was automatic and it was notable. And he was already upset or distracted.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have done that.
Otherwise, he would have noticed that the tailgate was open. So it was kind of like, oh, look at this.
I'm ahead of myself.
I'm really ahead of myself, rather than, oh, you're a bad person.
Oh, how unenlightened.
Mhm.
Thanks
Thank you.
for being with us today.
Yes, thank
What
you
a
for your
treat.
time.
I
Yeah.
enjoyed it. Thank you.
We enjoyed having you. You know, if you want to be a guest or submit a listener spotlight, you can go to transformationmadeeasy.com/being here and find out how. You submit something and we can get back to you, and you can call in and be a listener like Kirsten or Natasha and add your voice. Thanks for being with us today. And next week's episode is a really good one because I think it's a great follow-up on this one. It's F responsibility.
I like that.
So why not come on back and don't miss